There are nights where I feel like I'm doing everything alone. The parenting, the planning, the pressure. And when co-parenting gets hard, when the stress piles up, I got no one else to talk to. That's when the anxiety kicks in, the loneliness creeps in. And suddenly, I'm scrolling on YouTube, doom scrolling, avoiding everything I should be doing. But here's the thing. Even when things are going great, when I'm crushing it as a dad, when my kids are thriving, I still feel this weird empty space because I've got no one else to share the wins with. If you ever felt like that too, this video is for you. So first, I want to talk about the rise of male loneliness, especially for dads. And you know what's wild? I didn't feel the loneliness when my life fell apart. I felt it when everything was finally going right. I had a job, I had the income, my health, my kids were thriving. I was doing way better than ever before. But it felt empty because when you don't have anyone to share the wins with, those wins don't feel like wins anymore. It's really weird. For the past 3 years, I lived a siloed life. I work from home, I take care of the kids, I cook, clean, run errands, help with the school, plan for the future. It's nonstop. And after a full day of doing it all, when the kids are finally asleep, you hear that silence and it hits me hard. That's when I realize no one really sees what I'm doing. There's no pat on the back. No one's asking how you're holding up. No celebration for the efforts. And the saddest part is I don't even try to open up anymore because every time I scroll online, I see how hostile people are towards men just talking about their struggles, especially single dads. We get labeled. We get dismissed. We get mocked for feeling anything. So I stopped trying and I just stay busy. I keep my head down. I hope that if I keep pushing forward, it'll all pay off. But the truth is, even strong men get lonely. Even good dads want someone to talk to. So let's talk about why it's hard to talk, especially as a single dad. And I've thought about opening up more to my friends, to my family, even online. But every time I kind of stop myself before I do this. Even this YouTube channel was really hard to start up because I was nervous about sharing my experience. And not because I don't feel anything, not because I don't need connection, but just because I know maybe my friends and family won't understand or fully understand. And honestly, they shouldn't have to. Some people just don't know what it's like to raise kids alone. To constantly switch between provider mode and parent mode, to carry the weight of being strong, present, and emotionally stable, when inside you're struggling just to hold it together. So even when I do share, all I get is surface level advice, stuff like, hang in there, you're doing great, just take a break. And sure, that sounds nice, but that's not exactly what I need. I need someone who knows what it's like to answer work email while helping out with homework, while cooking dinner, while mentally preparing for another hard conversation with your ex. I've hit burnout, not once, but multiple times. And the thing is, I didn't even notice it at first because slowing down wasn't an option. When you're a single dad, you can't afford to break down. You can't just drop everything and go clear your head because the kids still need you. The bill needs to be paid. The world doesn't stop just because you're overwhelmed. And yes, I chose to take on this life. And I'm very proud of what I built and what I've done. My kids are thriving. My home is peaceful and safe. I'm building momentum on my income and my business. I'm finally becoming the man I've always wanted to be. But that doesn't mean it's easy. It doesn't mean I don't want someone in my corner, someone who can empathize and say, hey, I see you, you're doing a lot, let me help. The hard part is society doesn't make space for men to say things like this. Online, there's a lot of hate towards dads. Tons, especially single ones. Like we're all supposed to be deadbeat or broken or lazy. So when someone like me speaks up, a man who's showing up every day, doing the work, sacrificing and growing, we get overlooked. There's this cultural message that says, you're a man, you figure it out. And that's why most of us go silent. We don't complain, we just carry it. And when things get too heavy, we isolate. We distract ourselves with screens, we numb out, we stay quiet, not because we don't want a connection, but because it feels like there's no one safe actually to be real. And hey, if any of this is landing with you, if you felt even a little bit of what I'm talking about, do me a favor. Like this video so it reaches more single dads who needs it. And if you want more honest conversation like this, subscribe to the channel. So right now I'm sharing everything I'm learning as I go, not because I've got it all figured out, but because I know we're stronger when we grow together. So let's talk about what actually helps, what worked for me, and what helped me climb out the dark days, you could say. So what do you actually do when the loneliness hits? When the silence is too loud? When you're doing everything right, but still feel empty? You start building habit that gives you back control. Even if the world doesn't notice, even when no one claps for you, even if you're doing it all alone at first, for me, it started small. I picked up a journal. I just started writing everything out. Not poetry, not fancy thoughts, just whatever was on my mind, all that junk in there, I just put it out there. Because carrying all of it in silence in my head, that's what makes it heavier. So journaling gave me room to breathe again. Then I added something simple but powerful, is gratitude. I can't express this enough, but gratitude has helped me stay firm on my ground. Every morning, I write down a few things I'm grateful for. Even if life feels hard, even when I'm tired, I remind myself that I'm alive. I have my kids. I have another shot at making today better than yesterday. Then I move my body. I start working out at home, not to look a certain way, but to feel something again, to sweat out all the stress, to remind myself that I still have power, that I'm young, that I still have energy, even when everything feels like it's closing in. And honestly, one of the biggest changes, I just became more present with my kids. No multitasking, no distractions, because every bedtime story, every laugh, every hug, those are the moments that fill me back up. It's absolutely fulfilling. But even with all that, there's still something missing. So I took a chance. I went into an online space and I posted something simple. Any other dads here who wants to grow together? I was looking for accountability groups and people that I could talk with. Now I got a group of other single dads. We meet once a week, we check in, we talk wins, we talk struggles, we hold each other accountable. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel alone. These aren't just guys to vent to. They're mirrors that remind me of who I want to be as well. We're not perfect. We don't always have answers, but we show up. And that alone is very powerful, being around a community. You got to shift your mindset from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. You've got to move out of the fixed place that says this is just how life is and step into a growth mindset. You got to believe, you really got to believe that life can be better, that you can be better, that you're not stuck here. I believe I'm lucky to be alive. Lucky to live in a place with opportunity, lucky to have 2 daughters who look up to me, lucky to still have time to build something amazing. And I truly believe in you too. Maybe no one has said that to you in a while, but let me say it now. You are not too far gone. You are not invisible. You are not weak for wanting more. You just need one more spark to get momentum going, the encouragement. Put yourself out there and send a message to an online group that you want to be part of. Start journaling. Go out for a walk and get sunlight. Build your group, not for likes, not for praise, but because you matter. And because you're kids. They deserve a dad who wants to feel alive again. So if you're a single dad watching this and you've been carrying that weight silently, I want you to know something. You are truly capable of great things, more than you realize. Even if life feels heavy, even if you feel like no one sees you, even if you're barely holding it together some days, you still have control. You can choose to take care of your body or numb yourself with junk. You can choose to respond to your ex with calm or let anger win and feel worse later. You can choose to show up fully at your job or take that first step towards a better one. It's not about being perfect. It's about owning your power again, being in control. If I could go back and speak to a version of me who felt burnt out, alone, and ready to give up, I wouldn't just say hang in there. Find your people. Not just anyone. Don't surround yourself with complainers. Surround yourself with the men who want to grow. Men who are leveling up. Men who want to be better fathers, partners, and men. Because when you're around growth, you will rise too. You don't need to have it all figured out, but you need to start. If this video spoke to you, if you felt any of this in your chest, don't click off. I made another video just as real, just as honest. Watch it next, because this isn't just about surviving fatherhood. It's about becoming the strongest, calmest, most grounded version of you. You got this. I'm with you. See you in the next video.